see me in those tight little pants.
Yeah,
Good thing I had a froofy thing in front. Now, shut up, I gotta finish this. The wench who previously inhabited the island. The plot starts when the King Alonso of Naples and his entourage sail home for Italy after attending the daughter's wedding in Tunis, Africa? Okay, yeah, that works. They encounter a violent storm, or a tempest, caused by Ariel at Prospero's bidding. Everyone jumps overboard and are washed ashore on a strange island. Prospero greets disobedience with a reminder that he saved Ariel from Sycorax's spell. Sycorax? Whatever. Fuck you. Promises to grant his freedom, Ariel is Prospero's eyes and ears throughout the play. He uses Ariel's magical abilities not only to cause the tempest, but also to foil other characters' plots to bring him down. Ladies and gentlemen, Ariel from the Tempest.
Yeah. Masters, great sirs, hail! I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be to fly, to fly, to fly. To swim, to dive into the fire. To ride uncurled clouds to thy strong bidding test. Ariel, and all his quality. Hast thou spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee? To every article. I boarded the king's ship. now in the waist, on the deck. In every cabin I flamed amazement. And sometimes I'd divide. I'd burn in many places. The topmast, the yards and bowsprit, I would flame distinctly. And then meet and join Jove's lightnings, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps. More momentary in sight, outrunning or not. Fiery cracks of sulphurous lightning. The most mighty Neptune would seem to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. He his dread trident shake. Oh, my brave spirit was so firm, so constant. Toil would not infect his reason. Not a soul but felt the fever of the mad. Played some tricks of desperation. And all but mariners plunged into the foamy brine and quit the vessel. King's son Ferdinand, with hair of staring then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that looked and cried, "All hell is empty, and the devils are here." But are they safe? Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I've dispersed them about the isle. And the king's son I've landed by himself, who I've left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, sitting with his arms in the side. Of the king's ship and the rest of the fleet, safe in harbor, in the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still of experiments. There she lay. And the mariners all under hatches stowed, with the charms joined to their suffered labors, I've left asleep. The rest of the fleet have met again on Mediterranean floats, and are bound sadly home for Naples, supposing they had just seen their king's ship